The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro, bringing you the biggest headlines from around the world. U.S. President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy edge closer to a deal to avoid a looming debt default. Following an hour of talks, said the two sides remain far apart on an agreement to lift the debt ceiling. He noted, however, that it is possible to get a deal by the end of the week, as it is not that difficult to get to an agreement. On the other hand, Democrats were not as positive about the time frame, but the White House called the meetings productive and direct. Republicans have refused to vote to lift the debt ceiling past its $31.3 trillion limit unless Biden agrees to spending cuts.
We're a long way apart, but what changed in this meeting was the president has now selected two people from his administration to directly negotiate with us, and we've got a short time frame here to try to find out how we could come to an agreement.
Ukraine said it had shot down 6 Russian Kinzhal missiles in a single night. The weapon has been touted by Moscow as a next-generation hypersonic missile that was all but unstoppable. It was the first time Ukraine had claimed to have struck an entire volley of multiple Kinzhal missiles. If confirmed, this move would be a demonstration of the effectiveness of Kyiv's newly deployed Western air defenses. The United States and the European Union have supplied Ukraine with weaponry to defend itself since Russia invaded in February 2022.
Повышенной міцності вибухівка «Октаген», по суті своїй, хороша вибухівка, класна. Да. Її споряджаються всі сучасні боєприпаси, тому є міцна. Ну, в тротиловому еквіваленті от ця бойова частина десь 240 кілограм тротила.
Отримали інформацію, що це так званий «Кинжал», та суперзброя, яку презентують росіяни, яку неможливо збити. Ну, ми бачимо зараз вже, це радує нас, українців, тому що ми відчуваємо себе набагато більш захищеними. І дякуємо нашим партнерам за підтримку, тому що безпека на сьогоднішній день є самим ключовим питанням для кожного з українців.
However, Russian Defense Minister dismissed Ukraine's claim. State-owned RIA quoted the minister as saying that Kyiv claimed to have shot down 3 times as many missiles as Russia had actually fired. His remarks, though, as cited by RIA, did not appear to refer specifically to the latest strike. European leaders want to hold Russia to account for waging war against Ukraine. This as the 46-nation Council of Europe, which stands as the continent's preeminent human rights organization, opened its first summit in 8 years in Iceland. The meeting focused on fully backing member state Ukraine and condemning Russia, which had been expelled for its invasion of Kyiv. The council was poised to approve a system that would establish the damages Moscow would have to pay to rebuild Ukraine and compensate victims. French President Emmanuel Macron also said the Council's Development Bank should mobilize funds to build mental health centers in Ukraine to help people process their trauma from 15 months of war.
Je pense au bombardement d'infrastructures civiles, aux viols utilisés comme arme de guerre, aux meurtres, à la torture généralisée, aux déportations d'enfants ukrainiens. À l'occasion de ce sommet, le Conseil montre de nouveau la voie aux côtés des victimes de l'agression en créant aujourd'hui un registre international des dommages causés par l'agression de la Russie contre l'Ukraine. J'appelle tous les États à y adhérer et à contribuer activement à son élaboration.
We must also learn the lessons of this war by being prepared to confront threats to our societies before they become too big to deal with. That includes acting on cybersecurity and AI. And it means tackling illegal migration. The moral case for action is clear. We can't just sit back and watch as criminal gangs profiteer on people's misery.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now World. I'm Diego Castro. The World Bank has suspended $1 billion worth of funding for humanitarian and development projects in Congo. The World Bank says the decision comes after the government dissolved the project fund without warning and created another fund. According to the lender's letter to Congo's finance minister, the suspension will affect over 600,000 beneficiaries and among them victims of sexual violence. The letter also said the bank still awaits the documentation status of the $91 million which had already been advanced for the projects. However, a spokesperson of the Congolese president denied any suspension of funding and said there would be a transitional management of the fund. Christian supporters of Israel from around the world marched in Jerusalem on Tuesday as part of the Jerusalem Day celebrations. Jerusalem Day marks Israel's capture of the Old City and its Jewish holy sites in the 1967 Mid-East War. The rally came a few days after a deadly 5-day burst of fighting between Israel and militants in the Gaza Strip. Tensions could surge again later this week when Israeli nationalists hold their annual Jerusalem Day march through the Muslim quarter of Jerusalem's Old City. Palestinians who claim East Jerusalem as their capital see that march as a provocation. The 76th Cannes Film Festival kicks off with the premiere of Jean du Barry starring Johnny Depp. The Hollywood star walked the famous Cannes red carpet along with other stars of the period drama film. It has been billed as Depp's comeback film following his explosive trial last year with ex-wife Amber Heard. A civil jury awarded Depp $10 million in damages and $2 million to Heard over abuse allegations. Sticking with tradition, Jean du Barry is being released in French theaters on the same day as the gala premiere. And those are the top world headlines of the hour. Join us again at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. Coming right up is Agenda at 8 a.m. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.